Namaskar and welcome to Startup Champions. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. This is the stage that celebrates the startup talent of India. Now let's talk about energy. Energy, we know, drives every aspect of our lives, from the gas that is used to cook food, to the fuel that we use to drive our vehicles, our cars, to electricity that lights up this beautiful stage and our homes. Now, conventional forms of energy are finite, and the manner in which we use them also has an impact on the climate and our planet as a whole. So the need of the hour is to have eco-friendly sources of energy and efficient use of the power that we have. Now, India has set ambitious targets towards renewable energy. Also remember, government has been able to democratize access to energy for the masses through flagship programs like Ujjwala Yojana. Now, the startups who are joining us today in the program have truly energized the energy sector of the country through their innovations and technological disruptions. Let me introduce you to the startups who are joining us in the program. We have with us first SCR Soft Technologies, a startup from Bengaluru. Bipin Chandra is joining us. Bipin, warm welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And our second startup of the day, Aloe Cell, a startup from Lucknow, and co-founder Nimisha Varma is joining us. Welcome, Nimisha. What happened? You got hurt?
Thank you for inviting me. I just had a small accident.
Okay. Please take care and warm welcome to the program. And like always, we have a fantastic set of audience members, students, entrepreneurs, teachers. Warm welcome to you. Big hand for yourselves for your presence in the program. And remember, mentors are a very important part of the program, as mentors are important in any startup journey. Let me introduce you to the mentor who's joining us in the program. We are very excited to have with us Mr. Alekhya Datta, who's joining us from Terry. Alekhya, warm welcome to the program. Thanks very much for joining us. Alekhya is working, in fact, on different aspects of renewable energy, also battery energy storage system and virtual power plants. Alekhya, look forward to engaging with you in the course of the program. Warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
Now, as we begin the program, let us take an overview of the energy sector from the perspective of the flagship reforms and programs introduced by the government, and also the challenges that lie ahead, the manner in which technology has proved to be a game changer, and why this sector is an exciting place for startups. Let's take a look.
एक तरफ देश में नेचुरल गैस पर फोकस किया जा रहा है, तो दूसरी तरफ देश अपने एनर्जी रिसोर्स को भी डाइवर्सिफाई कर रहा है। उज्ज्वला योजना जैसी स्कीम से देश के 8 करोड़ से ज्यादा गरीब परिवारों के घर कुकिंग गैस तो पहुंची है, साथ ही इससे एलपीजी से जुड़ा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी देश में मजबूत हुआ है।
Whether it is the empowerment of women through LPG gas cylinders from Ujjwala scheme, or the Ujjala scheme that seeks to replace old tungsten bulbs with energy-efficient LED bulbs, the resounding success of the energy-centric flagship schemes show that technology will play a vital role to make India self-reliant in the energy sector. Recent years have witnessed big reforms in the energy sector of India. From 2014 to 2020, 50,000 crore rupees invested on energy infrastructure of the country. Bailout package worth 90,000 crore rupees for discoms under Atmanirbhar Bharat. Over 280 lakh homes get electricity connection under Saubhagya Yojana. Energy policies have led to saving of 136 billion units of electricity and 67,000 crore rupees. The government has also taken important measures to empower the consumers. Electricity consumer rights rules have been laid out covering all aspects, from issuance of electricity connection to power supply to bill payment facility. But with big reforms also come great challenges. Let's look at some of them. Making 24/7 electricity supply a reality. Making uninterrupted power supply affordable. Ensuring access to renewable energy at remote places, making renewable energy accessible to small entrepreneurs, increasing use of renewable energy in agriculture. Waste to energy generation is the need of the hour, expanding wind farms and promoting use of wind energy, energy efficient tech to produce clean drinking water. The emerging startups in the energy sector can play a crucial role in tackling these challenges. Today, many startups are engaged in harnessing clean energy and others in the maintenance of the power infrastructure. Some are using artificial intelligence to promote efficient use of energy and reducing the cost of the consumer. The need of the hour is for startups to provide innovative solutions faced by the sector and make India energy ready for the 21st century.
Those were some of the important trends in the energy sector. At this point, let us connect with our mentor, Aloe. Aloe, if we look at the challenges faced by the startups in the energy sector, how would you evaluate the manner in which they've risen up to the challenge?
Yeah, so of course, I'll be focusing more on the energy sector startups opportunities. When India talks about the transition towards cleaner mobility, clean source of electricity, of course, there we essentially talk about renewables. We essentially talk about electric mobility, and also on the other hand, we also talked about energy efficiency. Because these are the three verticals where there is an ample opportunity for the startups to produce their innovations. And also the scale of our country, if you can see, there are larger opportunity to replicate similar innovative solutions. And also we at the country level, there is a tremendous potential if you develop some innovation. And being the diversity of this country, there is a huge potential to have economy of scale and also lowering the cost of that innovations. To name a few, of course, when you're talking about electric mobility, let us talk about the charging infrastructure. There are huge potential for the startups to invest into the charging infrastructure, a new set of innovative products. When you're talking about the renewables, especially on the solar rooftop space, for an example, there are huge opportunity for startup to invest into. And when we talk about the other aspects like on energy efficiency or the demand response, there are opportunity like the smart metering and other aspects what the startup had already talked about their innovations. So there are a huge opportunity in the power sector per se in the country.
Thanks for that opening thought. We'll keep connecting with you, Aloe. Do stay connected with us. Now let's talk about our first startup. You broadly are aware of how electricity is produced, how the power companies purchase it and then distribute it in cities and towns. Now, what we are also familiar with are issues of power theft. We are also aware of the challenges of power failure. Now, what if I were to tell you to imagine a system, a smart system that can help with the supply-demand issues of a power station, that can help consumers with billing requirements, and most importantly, a smart system that can check power theft. Now, you'll be very happy to know that such a system already exists in India and it's on and running thanks to SR Soft technology. Let's first look at their fascinating story.
Electricity is the lifeline of today's economy. It makes our cities throb, catalyzes industrialization, powers crucial infrastructure, and lights up our lives. Today, India is the third largest producer and consumer of electricity, but there are still regions where people are bereft of this basic amenity. The electricity consumption by India is set to drastically increase in the coming years. Along with shifting to cleaner energy, we need to ensure judicious use of electricity if we have to reduce our carbon footprint. In 2014, the co-founders of SR Soft Technologies, Bipin Chandra and Sanjay Soni, came together to work towards this objective and provided the software solution to the country's first smart grid.
हम लोग को और कुछ नया करना था। मैं और विपिन एक बार दिल्ली गए। जनरेशन तो यूटिलिटी के पास बहुत है, लेकिन इशू है डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में। मतलब लोग बहुत सारी चोरियां करते हैं, बहुत सारे टेक्निकल लॉस होते हैं, बहुत सारे कमर्शियल लॉस होते हैं। लोगों को ये पता नहीं होता है कि उनके यहाँ पे कब पावर आउटेज होगा।
The way we transmit our electricity has not changed much in the last 70 years. But now, India is progressing fast in making its electricity distribution efficient and resilient. Let us take a look as to how are we making our grids smart. Electricity is generated by power plants like wind farms, thermal power plants and solar panels. The DISCOMs purchase this electricity and distribute it via their network to the consumers in homes, shops and factories. DISCOMs have the job of matching the electricity demand of a city or a state with the electricity supply on a real-time basis. When demand outpaces the supply, the DISCOM opts for load shedding. But now, our grids are becoming smarter. Meter data management software-enabled meters are being installed at our homes, offices, industries and transmission grid. This data is used to match power supply with demand during peak load and detect electricity thefts.
The whole data is analyzed into our big data analytics system, and we have multiple dashboards which will give the customer clear insights that which area they need to focus to reduce the losses. We have a distribution transformer monitoring system which will give us the live status of you can see here the temperature of the transformers. Is it optimally loaded? It is overloaded, the whole status, and what is the oil level also is showcased here. And if any anomaly, the alert is triggered to the particular official so that they can take a corrective action.
Soft Technologies analyzes data and informs the consumers about their consumption of electricity. This software solution has taken care of not just energy management but also keeping the data secure. Dealing with such critical infrastructure requires protecting the network from cyber attacks. Their protocol takes care of this threat as well. The smart meters now allow the DISCOMs to capture the meter readings automatically and remotely, thus increasing transparency in billing.
Correct meter reading and revenue collection after billing are two major challenges being faced by utilities, which smart metering attempts to solve. Consumers too have been benefited by this initiative because meter reading related complaints have come down to almost zero, and consumers have complete visibility of their consumption pattern through mobile app. Up till now, we have invested about 75 crore rupees in the project, which have already been recovered through enhanced revenues after implementation of the project. Moreover, the system provided accurate meter reading during COVID period without human intervention, which was a big relief in the time of pandemic.
Now, Soft Technologies is diversifying towards smart metering of water and gas. They began their journey in 2014 and are fast expanding to several cities in India and abroad. They truly symbolize the spirit of Make in India.
ESIA means future in Sanskrit. These smart meters combine IoT with big data analytics for enhancing energy efficiency. Solutions like these are the foundation for building sustainable cities. Indeed, when a champion startup, India steps into the future.
So that's a fascinating journey of Soft Technologies. Can we have hands together for them? And co-founder Bipin Chandra is with us. Bipin, so you developed a software that enables smart metering, smart grid system. Where did the idea come from?
So, yeah, the idea, see, as I think you have shown everything here. The first and the foremost thing is probably many people would have been surprised here that India is a power surplus country, but yet we don't have 24/7 uninterrupted clean power.
Just to simplify, power surplus would mean there is enough power and electricity for everyone.
Oh yes, absolutely. If
it's properly distributed and managed.
So for that we can have a 24/7 uninterrupted clean and less cost power. So but end of the day, so we don't have that. So where does it go? So if you look at one of the major point that you brought it out, that in the start of the program is the power theft. It's a non-technical loss. There is a theft. The assets are not maintained. The transformers are not maintained. The grids are not maintained. Aging infrastructure. So a lot of things leads to the losses, and that's where the biggest problem is. So the idea was to how do we address a problem that each and everyone faces. So that was the idea, and we wanted to solve that problem, and we noticed that it is not a problem just India as such. It is a challenge globally from a various different scenarios.
Right.
So that was the whole thing that started off.
Interesting. We'll learn more about that from you.
Sure.
Let's connect with our mentor, Aloe Datta, who continues to be with us. Aloe, if we can have you on the mentor wall, there you are. Aloe, we're talking about this game-changing innovation, managing power better so that it becomes accessible to everyone. How do you look at that idea and the journey?
Yeah, so just to having a setting of the context, what Honorable Power Minister just now mentioned regarding the quality of power, or the consumer is having the rights to get quality of power at his premises. So I think in that sense, these kind of innovations play an important role when we bring transparency to this sector. Monitoring of your consumptions, and this kind of innovation, it will improvise the billing system of the distribution utilities, and therefore of course you bring more and more transparency to the sector, as well as reducing the cost of power, what is the intention of the government of India for the end consumers. So I think this kind of innovations having a larger potential, as I told, not only reduce the issues related to the billing through smart metering, and also it can be utilized for other functionalities, like when tomorrow if you wanted to you want to perform on demand response program in order to reduce your peak demand of your system. So this kind of innovation will be really helpful. Even also when you're talking about the electric mobility, when you have to charge the vehicle, you should not charge the vehicle when the utility, there is a peak demand at your system. Your smart system should can monitor the electricity demand, and it can inform you through its based upon the intelligence that is inbuilt in this system, when to charge your vehicle. It is not like you can charge your vehicle when there is no peak at the system, or there is in off-peak hours essentially. So these are having a multifold benefits apart from the loss reduction and other aspects.
Right there, Alekia, thanks for that input. Please do continue to stay with us. Bipin, if you could give us some insight into the business model that you follow for this software. In what manner do you partner with power companies in order to make and manage power distribution?
Okay, see, now if you look at, there are various programs that the government of India has initiated with. The first and the foremost is the government of India has done the right thing, is now to bring in a scheme where all these losses these DISCOMs are incurring. Okay, so what they said is that all the grants that we are providing you, so you sign up an agreement, an MOU with the central federal government, as the Power Minister rightly said, we want to empower the consumer, but if you don't meet it, we have a strict action to take. So now for that efficiency, so the DISCOM is signing that in the next course of 5 years, we will reduce these losses. And how do we do that? So for that also the government of India has given a solution, right? So they said that, we bring in the smart meters. This is a mandate. You please implement this, and there are the solutions that is there. And with that, so for us,
that's where your software company comes in. That's where you help them manage the power losses.
Absolutely. So we help these DISCOMs to enable the smart metering and help them to cut these losses and meet the targets that they have committed to the government of India and to the consumers. Right.
Bipin, we're very curious about your team as well. Before I ask you about that, let's hear from the co-founder, Sanjay.
In the startup, definitely financial problem will be there. So we also got the financial problem, but our employees supported always. They never left with us, and whatever problem we face, we will resolve together. Always they are supporting us.
There's Sanjay talking about the importance of having a team that stays close together. Bipin, if you could give us some insight. I think what Sanjay was talking about was a certain difficult period in time for the company when all the team members stick together. What is it like to be a part of?
Absolutely, and especially the kind of segment that we are in, energy sectors, is like, this is not as something as an immediate result oriented. So the long gestations are there, and irrespective of the energy or any other startups, I think the team, that initial team that is going to be there, because one, you are struggling to make sure that whatever the product that you want to deliver, so you're struggling to do that. At the same time, the whole team is with you, because that's becomes your core ingredient into when you do a startup. It's definitely not an individual effort, but
how many team members, Bipin, if I were to ask you, in your startup?
Oh, we are about now 55 people now.
Okay.
So yeah, so both in India and in abroad, together put together. So we thank them because of them we are here, and we plan to go much further.
At this point, let's also get some questions from the audience who've joined us for the program. Yeah, you'd like to ask something.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me opportunity to ask the question. I'm Sushil Vaishnav, and I'm the founder for the KNP Arises Green Energy Private Limited. We are also the startup like yours. And in our journey, we have, in the last 2 years, the biggest challenge which we have faced in the first year itself, actually we have we have made the revenue of 2 crores. And the next year, this year, we are going to hit 2.4 CR. But despite having such a great revenues in the 2 years of the time, we are facing the biggest difficulty because none of the vendors are ready to wait for 2 months to get their payments back. And we also know that situation is good after 2 months, but handling this particular situation. So how do you handle such financial crisis once you know you are already doing good?
See, I mean, it's a good question, and it's a typical question too, because as a startups we face as the cash flow issues. So I think one, definitely the funds are required. So how do we managed was the cash flow was managed properly. So that's quite a thing, and you will learn across. We also raised some funds, both through debt and equity both, okay? And at least for a 6 months period, that if you could have that, so then you can plan it better. So that's what we did.
Right.
But however, yes, these challenges do come, but this is how you can plan. Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions like equity or debt? Which is the better option? Which you feel is the less expensive?
Less expensive, of course, is debt, because equity is expensive when you give out a lot. But who provides the debt? So that's a good question to ask. We did both, but yes. So this is the one. There are schemes that now Government of India, and what I've also know is that the very recent Prarambh that came up by the Honorable Prime Minister. The fund now about 1,000 crores has been specifically specified for startup fund,
right.
And I think under that scheme, especially for renewable, you have that. If you could really apply that and take it forward, I think you'll definitely get that.
I think Startup India mission in that manner
absolutely
plays an important role in supporting the startups. Bipin, one important aspect about your startup when we're talking about it is the manner in which it checks power theft. Now, that could be a risky business. The people that you're working against, people who are stealing and causing losses to the nation. How did that work out? Were there threats? Were there challenging situations, scenarios that you found yourself in?
Oh, very interesting. I mean, of course, because when we started off, when we were building the software, we also thought that, okay, why only put our hands on software for now? Maybe also understand on the ground, so that it will help us to understand how this whole thing works. So, I mean, one of the northern state, we happened to take even the installation, commissioning, and then the software that we able to implement it.
Sure.
It was quite challenging. I mean, our
so what happened? Did you face an opposition? What was that like?
The opposition from the consumer, they will never let you to implement. Opposition from the system itself, because they don't want that to be implemented. But I think sometimes it's good to know those experiences. They know how to maneuver this, because technology is not just directly to implement. It's just how do you involve them, the inclusive part of it, so that they also show how the other benefit that they get out of this, not just losing it. So I think that has helped, and also the leadership. I think they stood by to it. I mean, a very interesting story would be, how do you, if you think that a meter how strong they can make, a simple villager takes a scooter, spark plug, and he burns it out the meter itself. So, I mean, not even the companies, the large companies couldn't think of. So this is the kind of thing that what we have faced. So it's been a tough journey, but we know that. So this is part and parcel of the business.
It's a tough journey, and we know in every tough journey, the role of the family is very crucial. We sometimes don't get to see the kind of sacrifices that the family makes in the success of the startup. We have some interesting bites of your family members. Let's listen to them.
Sure.
शुरुआत के दिनों में काफ़ी मुश्किल होती थी। अकेले सब कुछ मैनेज करना होता था। ये इतने ज़्यादा बिजी होते हैं कि बिल्कुल भी टाइम नहीं होता। हम लोग साथ में भी टाइम कम ही बिता पाते हैं। एक बेबी भी है हमारा, उसके साथ अकेले सब कुछ करना, अकेले सब कुछ मैनेज करना काफ़ी टफ होता था। जैसे यहाँ मैं लाइव देखती हूँ, उनके फ्रेंड्स भी हैं, वीकेंड पे सभी लोग फ्री होते हैं, लाइफ एंजॉय करते हैं, लेकिन हमारा ऐसा कम ही हो पाता है कि हम साथ में टाइम बिता पाएँ। लेकिन जैसे जैसे टाइम आगे गया बीता, मैंने इनको समझा, इनके काम को समझा, देखा, जाना, मुझे लगा कि नहीं, ये काम इनका बहुत अच्छा है और अब अच्छा लगने लगा है। ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता। जैसे इन्हें नेशनल अवार्ड मिला इनकी कंपनी को, तो काफ़ी प्राउड फील हुआ इनके लिए। जो प्रोजेक्ट मिलते हैं काफ़ी अच्छा लगता है कि ये मेहनत कर रहे हैं, तो बहुत सही चीज़ है। आगे हमारी लाइफ के लिए सब बहुत अच्छा है।
When he first gave me that he has a startup idea kind of a thing. So I was a bit worried because it was a smooth running for the household or whatever it is. But now when he has started saying that I'll resign, and all of a sudden he resigned and he said that I'm going to do a startup. So that was okay. Then I thought let me try, because anyhow I was earning. So anyhow one thing will be there so that I can take care of the household. So I thought you take a call on that, and he started. Or I think in 2009. So it was okay, but initially it was very glitchy. He had his own set of problems, everything, and somehow he could overcome over a span of time. Yeah.
So of the startup founders, Bipin, how significant has been their support and sacrifice?
Oh, I think it's all because of them. Because if they don't support, the family doesn't support, then you're juggling between the company and the family. At least one is taken care, so you focus on the one problem that you have. So family plays a major role, and especially my wife, and I have 2 sons, and they were just all born, and I was traveling 5 days a week. I mean, so it was very tough, but she managed it pretty well. Yeah.
Great. And at this point, if you can take another question from audience members, please go on.
So this is Amandeep Singh, and I have basically agri-commodity trading business, and I deal with all the kind of fruits, vegetables, and buy and get converted into the value-added products, and I sell to industries. So just I was just going through your story, and it's very inspiring. But I also want to understand, you have created this software, which is actually, I'll say eradicating the needs of man hours, which will be required to take the readings, and because self-generating. So, how many man hours you are thinking right now at this instant of time you are saving from the electricity board, or
See, okay, so to give a very simple answer of the scenario that what we all face, just imagine in the COVID times, okay, the whole lockdown. Now you're not allowing a meter readers to come in, or meter readers, so everybody is locked on, but still you have to get power, still the utility has to generate, they have to pay salaries, so the bill has to be generated. So but this system has helped without any human intervention, so able to generate accurate billing, and able to generate, and you will be able to pay through your apps. So this is one aspect of what we are able to see. To other part of it is how many hours. Rather than hours, I would say in one of the city in southern India, we were able to, with this hour system, we are able to save about 150,000 outage minutes. So what that means? That means for a consumer, you don't have power cut, and for the utility, they're able to generate more revenue. Because for a utility, if you have the power cut, it's a loss for them. They want to give you power, but they don't have that because there's losses. So 150,000 outage minutes that we have able to
That's an incredible number. And at this point in time, if you can get a quick thought from our mentor as well, Alakhya Datta continues to be with us. Alakhya, one of the interesting things about Asia Soft is that not only have they done very well in India, but they've also expanded. They've also established themselves in the Middle East. So it's not just make in India, it's also make for the world. From that perspective, how do you see the performance of Asia Soft?
Yeah, so I think that is one of the leadership has already taken by our Honorable Prime Minister when we're talking about, this Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is, in energy sector, not only in India, if you can see the Southeast Asia or the South Asian countries, there are ample opportunities to, utilization of such products or such innovation. But of course, when we talk about the South Asian countries or the Southeast country, Asian countries, we have to keep in mind the cost factor in play. I think where these startups can definitely play a pivotal role to reduce the cost of the product of the innovation they have done. And I think here they have the excellent opportunity, to utilize the learnings from the India, because we are one of the pioneering country and we have so diverse of geography that we have in the country, which can definitely replicable in other parts of the Asian region and other parts of the globe.
Right, Alakhya, do continue to stay with us. Time now to meet our second startup. Now, you must have heard about Aloe Vera. Aloe Vera plant, we've seen it in our gardens. So we are aware of its herbal, medicinal properties. We often see advertisements of cosmetics where aloe vera is a key ingredient. Now, what if I tell you that aloe vera plant has the capacity to light a bulb, to light up the studio for that matter? Well, it is true. And the fascinating, hard-working and the brilliant team of Aloe eCell has made that possible. Let's look at their special journey.
Rajasthan is known for its Thar desert, where aloe vera is found in abundance. Aloe vera recharges your skin. But did you know that it can also work in torches and batteries? Amazed? Do not be, because I have two young entrepreneurs who have created this and who have invented this, and this is going to be the future.
Sitting in a humble apartment on their laptops in Jaipur, Naveen and Nimisha are writing success stories which provide solutions to many man-made problems. The duo have created a dry cell battery from aloe vera that not only keeps time but also drives away the darkness, lighting the torches. Hanging on the wall, these certificates and pictures are a testimony to their success stories. Working together in a hackathon in 2016-17, both realized the menace of e-waste and the pollution caused by hazardous chemicals and heavy metals. 97% of materials used in the ordinary batteries are imported. Batteries are removed when 20 to 30% of the energy is still left in them, and this can cause an explosion. Batteries end up in landfills. They release toxic materials causing soil, water and air pollution. According to a study, India generates 2 million tons of waste every year, accounting for 82% of e-waste. E-waste pollution results in chronic diseases like cancer. But batteries made from aloe vera are cheap, safe and 100% indigenous. Moreover, they are twice more durable. And because of this, Naveen and Nimisha won the Schneider Green Global Awards on the 3rd of October 2019 in Barcelona, defeating competition from 168 countries. 1 kilo of aloe vera produces around 125 batteries, which will surely benefit farmers. 4 crops of aloe vera can be produced on a small piece of land in 1 year.
Aloe vera has a lot of advantages, that is cultivation advantage, economic advantage, health advantage.
Geographical also.
Geographical advantage, I mean that is covered in cultivation. Yeah. So the farmers are going to benefit it because not much land is needed for that. Moreover, it can be harvested 4 times a year and per harvest you can get an extra income of 6 lakh rupees.
Having met the top guns of the industry in America and Europe, Naveen and Nimisha are the first engineers of their families. But Naveen's life has been a bit more challenging. He's the first graduate from his family and has done most of his schooling in Hindi medium. And now, through a novel idea, Naveen is trying to improve the learning skills of school kids in his hometown Bundi in Rajasthan.
They were not able to study because of online education. Everybody was not having mobile phones access to those. So we started an initiative called Nimisha Varma, and we implemented a system of peer-to-peer learning over there, which I seen in Fremont, USA, California. So there was a system like the students over there were studying without a teacher.
On the 6th of October last year, the duo of Naveen and Nimisha won the National Startup Awards, defeating more than 450 entries. Though COVID has been a speed breaker, but that has not dampened their spirits, as both now await a patent for their innovation.
So that's the brilliant journey of Aloe cell, fascinating. And Nimisha is with us, co-founder. Nimisha, I'm very curious to see that battery if I can.
Yeah, you can.
Wow. It looks like a pencil cell, and it has got aloe vera inside of it.
Right.
How is it different from the ordinary batteries that we see, Nimisha?
First of all, it is 100% eco-friendly. It is 100% non-hazardous and biodegradable.
Right.
And moreover, it is 100% non-explosive, and it's 100% made in India.
Amazing. And for anyone who has any doubts to see if it works, we have a clock
here. And I can make it run.
And amazing, it's working. It's an aloe vera run battery that can run a clock. Fascinating. Nimisha, so tell us about that journey of the startup. How did you zero on aloe vera? Were you looking through the garden, looking at different plants that can produce that sort of an electrolyte? How did it happen?
Actually it has a long story. It was not the day one when we decided that yes, come Naveen, we'll create a battery out of aloe vera. No. The story started in 2018 when we were doing our other startup on e-waste. There we realized few alarming facts about e-waste. That first of all is these batteries end up into landfills, which causes a lot of pollution as well as a lot of diseases. Right. And you will be really shocked to know that 69% of these diseases are happening to people living nearby landfill areas.
Right.
And the worst part is that we are creating the batteries using the material out of which 97% of the material is imported from different countries, which levies a high pressure of $149 billion on Indian economy. These were very alarming facts for us. That was the point when we decided that yes, we should do something towards e-waste. In our further research, we got to know that the major cause of e-waste are the primary batteries. And that was the exact time when we decided that yes, we need an eco-friendly potential and eco-friendly alternative for the hazardous batteries we have been using since years.
That's really fantastic. Let's get some quick questions from the audience members here. You can ask the question, sir, then we can. I'll come to you, then I'll come to you.
First of all, my compliments to you for this remarkable achievement, which you truly represent the startup India spirit. Now my question is, what's the future of aloe vera gel batteries? I mean, are you planning to expand in the industrial sector wherein you produce large batteries like power generation for UPS and other equipment, or maybe a vehicle driven by aloe vera power?
For now, we have stepped into the primary battery segment because we are trying to eradicate that problem. So for now, getting the powered batteries and the EVs for using aloe vera is a far long way to go. Just now we'll step into the primary batteries and try to eradicate that problem at once.
Right. We'll take another question from the lady.
Hello.
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Chavi. I'm from Jagannath Institute of Management Sciences, and I am pursuing masters in journalism from there. I was very curious about what will be the advertising strategy for this great initiative. Also, I wanted to know what will be the parameter of success and how it will be measured.
That's an interesting question. I was just in fact going to ask something like that. How do you plan to match the competition? Because a lot of competition battery companies, either they have a celebrity endorsing the battery or they say the batteries are more powerful. How do you plan to position it against that?
For now, like since these batteries are in the product development stage only, but yes, we are working towards the advertising and marketing strategy. And for this very year, I think the government itself is endorsing us and is working as helping us to be in the limelight and is working for the advertising and marketing campaigns for now. But yes, later on, obviously, because a lot of battery companies are there, and they are not from today only. I mean, they have been here from like years or decades, I would say. So we are working on that, and in the near future you will be seeing some celebrity, or I would say our celebrities will be the rural Indians who will be actually endorsing our product and bringing it in the limelight.
Right. Also, Nimisha, you mentioned how the raw material, aloe vera, is completely indigenous. Is the technology also indigenous? Is there any similar product that exists in India or abroad that you can tell us about, or is it an absolutely new invention, so to say?
Talking about the technology behind it, like if we talk about powering a battery using aloe vera, so a lot of research papers are already available there.
Okay.
But the real, I would say the real invention lies in making a usable battery, because every day we hear a lot of batteries are being created either from, I would not say material, either from XYZ, but the exact material or the exact product till the time it comes in our hand is either outdated or we get another alternative for that. So the real science behind this Aloe e-cell is the design and completing this into a usable product.
Right. And you mentioned that you've applied for patent for this product. Now, we're also talking about the Startup India mission. Help us understand, as a young startup, what kind of support opportunities are you getting under this mission, especially from the perspective of getting a patent for your product?
Talking about the benefits that we are getting from the Startup India mission, because the day we have registered ourselves as DPIIT, the world has totally changed for us. Because I mean, Startup India helps you at each and every step. It helps you in taking your baby steps, I would say. It helps, it provides a list of mentors who mentors you around the complete business strategies, the complete product commercialization, everything. And when we talk especially about IP, taking the IP in this, so there are a lot of things are there, because in our case we got the help as in the fast track examination. The second was the rebate, and third was the patent drafting fees and everything. I mean, it was reduced to a tremendous number. So that helped us, because we are a bootstrap startup. So getting the patent done from any private firm who charges you hefty amount, so it was very difficult. But thanks to the government who has induced such beautiful policies, I would say, and is supporting startups like us.
Right. Time to turn to our mentor and get a perspective. Aloe, how do you see this fascinating product, Aloe e-cell?
Yeah, so of course, I think it is what I can say it's a landmark kind of achievement what they have done. Of course, very small scale because when you talk about electric mobility, you know the battery storages are one of the essential component that feeds into the electric vehicles. So I think there are ample opportunities for this kind of innovation, but of course the scale is much lesser what they have mentioned. In terms of the capacity of the batteries or what they are looking for now. Of course, their objective is to serve the electronic devices which runs on the smaller size of the battery. But again, this is one of the innovation definitely, because we all talk about lithium-ion batteries or the batteries which use the rare earth materials. India does not have those rare earth materials. And if we talk about electric mobility, so battery will play a larger role. So we have to have some innovation at some point of time, which can be indigenous, which can be manufactured in India. And then only I think this electric mobility, the vision that we have, will be able to succeed. Otherwise, we'll be importing, again, instead of petrochemicals, we'll be importing the batteries from the external world. I think India is having a lot of potential. We talked about hydrogen, we talked about sodium batteries, we talked about this new innovative batteries what they have developed using the aloe vera gel. I think this is one kind of a landmark evolution, and if we make it at the scale, I think there will be enough opportunity for the country to bank upon in order to pursue its mission towards electric mobility.
Right. Thanks, Aloe, for those inputs. At this point, let's again turn to our audience and pick some more questions that may have come. Yeah. You.
Thank you. I'm Sushil Vaishnav, as I mentioned. I'm also from Jaipur. And our startup is also related to the converting the waste cooking oil into biodiesel. So one side we are trying to prevent the adulteration. So whatever food which we are eating, it has a lot of adulteration because it is being used several times. So we are trying to protect the environment, and we are also giving the clean energy. So because we are impacting the environment as well as the health. So because of this kind of the similar edge your startup also has, because you are converting such a big issue of batteries. into the green energy. So have you have you received any kind of red carpet welcome by the system? Because we have seen so much of bureaucracy actually kill so many ideas. So have you received any kind of support from the system because of such a great initiative? Thank you.
So yes, we have received a lot of support. I mean, I would really say the initial years were actually very difficult for us, because till the time you get a validation, the first validation is really difficult to get. But after that, it's a cakewalk. And talking about in our case, like getting the National Startup Award, it has actually given us a huge set of audience and a huge set of network who is ready to welcome us, who is ready to use these batteries. So I think now we are, ready to commercialize these batteries as soon as possible.
Right. Nimisha, Naveen and you're the founders of Aloe Cell. How did you come together to create a fascinating product like that?
It's 3 to 4 years back when we were in our college.
Okay.
So we used to participate in various startup events. And there was one such event in Udaipur where we both met. We got to know that though we have different perspectives, different viewpoints, but our thought process is same. And we have similar mission and vision. And that was the time when we came together and started thinking of startups, and that was the time we stepped into different set of startups and working together.
Right. And then let's also take a look at what kind of support did you get from your family? We spoke to some family members, yours and Naveen. Let's take a look.
सेल 100% इको फ्रेंडली है, साथ में वो किसानों के आय का भी एक सोर्स बन सकता है। और ऐसे जो नेशनल स्टार्टअप अवार्ड जैसे प्रोग्राम सरकार करवाती है, इसके द्वारा बहुत से ऐसे स्टार्टअप हैं जो हिडन स्टार्टअप जिनको अपन कह सकते हैं, उन्हें भी अपन सामने ला सकते हैं।
Really, it's a commendable thing for the entire family. And not only this, prior to it, Nimisha and Naveen, they have representative India and Asia in Barcelona, and they were rewarded as a global winner. And whatever thinking of Mr. Narendra Modi regarding Atmanirbhar Bharat, I think they are providing us steps towards it.
स्टार्टअप का नेशनल अवार्ड मेरे बच्चों को, नवीन और निमिषा दोनों को मिला है। मैं इसको बहुत ज़्यादा खुश हूँ। जब इन लोगों को नेशनल अवार्ड मिला, मेरी खुशी का ठिकाना ही नहीं रहा कि मेरे बच्चों को जो है वो नेशनल अवार्ड मिला।
Yeah, support of the family, always very special. Nimisha, what was it like for the family to have such a fabulous product being developed by one of them?
The family is our inspiration, so they have only supported us at each and every step, and I think it is all because of them we are here. And talking about their support, it is only them, I would say, because parents are the one who bless you and who help you at each and every step. And winning of this National Startup Award, creating of these batteries, I think it is a dream come true for them, because it is them who see the world through our eyes. And we are really happy that we could bring that gleam in their eyes and support them.
And where does Aloe Cell Enterprise go from here, Nimisha? What is your expectations from investors who may be watching this program? What are you looking forward to at this point, you and your founder?
Yeah, at this point, we are if we talk about current journey, now we are in the product development stage, and now we are looking to seek angel investment. 5 years down the line, we are expecting Aloe Cell to be a clean tech and green tech company working towards the goal of achieving sustainability and replacing the toxic chemicals with the eco-friendly potential.
Right. Asya Soft, Bipin, we'd also like to know, for the investors who are watching this program and are fascinated by your startup, what is your appeal? What are you looking forward to, you and your founder, the vision that you have?
See, we are a global company, the whole product. We compete with the biggest peers that we have in this segment.
Right.
For us, one is the funding, and one, how do we reach the entire world, because this transition or the transformation is happening across the globe, and how do we quickly be part of that? And that's the journey, and all thanks to, the one I really want to thank is first we raised the debt. And our investor was Mr. Pubalan, who helped us in supporting us and providing that. And of course, all our our partners, right, like Larsen and Toubro, they help us. One of the cash flow, what I talked about, they helped us in earlier payments, so that is one of the good part of that ecosystem also, being the big companies, how they support that. And of course, you have to plan your funds, and yeah, that's how we've been. We're also now raised the Series A fund in UAE. That gave us a boost to going to the next step. So that is where we planned it out.
Absolutely, and investors who are watching this program, two absolutely brilliant startups are here on the stage. You've seen their stories, and if you're interested in contacting them, you can reach out to us or reach out to them directly. Audience members, once again open the floor for questions to either of the startups if you'd like to ask. I'll come to you. You've been waiting for some time. Yeah.
Myself, Mayuri, and I'm a student, journalism student. And I guess you are inspiring a lot of people, including me. So I would like to know, what would you say to motivate the youth in this energy sector?
If I talk, there are two things: motivating the youth and motivating the youth in the energy sector, as you specifically said. One thing, as it's clearly specified, that not many startups or not many new players are here, but it's not that you cannot enter this world. So be confident, be creative, and just enter the world. If you have an inspiration, or if you think that you have a novel idea, don't think of anyone. Just try, just execute and enter this world, and the whole world will be yours.
Where did you get inspiration?
I take the inspiration from everywhere. The surroundings. I even take the inspiration from the audience, and most of all my family, who has been inspiring me from my birth itself.
And perhaps even the aloe vera plant could be an inspiration for being so versatile and important. A quick one more question if you can have.
I just want to understand, how is the price positioning of this cell you are planning, and what is the quality compared to other imported brands which are already in the market? And the third and very important thing, the raw material, because it's a agriculture crop, right? So how you are planning? Are you going into the contract farming further, and on certainly since the laws have changed and lot of turbulence in the market already, so how you are planning your raw material procurements?
So I'll answer one by one.
Sure.
Talking about the cost, since we are using aloe vera, which is grown in abundance in India, so it is one of the most economical raw material available. That's why these batteries are 10% economical than the existing batteries. When we talk about the quality in terms of durability, according to the initial results and the test reports, it is 1.5 times more durable than the existing zinc carbon batteries. And when we talk about the raw material, as I already told you, we are using aloe vera. And India produces 10% of the world's aloe vera, and it is available in abundance. Moreover, we are not using it for the medicinal purpose. So our requirement is totally different. And if we talk about this, we have already started the talking to the farmers, the contractual farming, and you would be really happy to know that we have actually already set up 4 aloe e-cell research farms specially for this.
What kind of pricing? Because right now the pricing for all the medicines and either the beverages where aloe vera is being used, the pricing is different. So are you giving a higher price or a lower price, just to understand?
For now, since we are not developing this at a large scale, so answering this question, in exact terms would be really difficult. But with that initial research and everything, I think we will be able to give a better price than the existing one to the farmers.
Right. Thanks very much for all your questions. And time to take some final observation, comments and guidance from our mentor. Alakhya, if we look at the sector as a whole, for the startups who are present here in the stage, startups, youngsters who are watching this program, what advice would you give while they plan to enter the energy sector in India?
Yeah, so when we're talking about a new product, we as Indians, we always think about the cost. And I think initially the cost could be quite high, but when we talk about the Indian market, there's so much of diversification of the economy that we are having. I think we can easily bring down the cost. And these are some of the startups developing many innovative products, be it a smart meter, be it AI enabled meters, or devices to monitor your consumption and other things, even for the electric vehicle batteries or the charging stations. So there are a lot of opportunity, but what my suggestion would be, in India, if at all you have to be, you want to be a sustainable, or you want to improve your sustainability, I think we have to thrust upon the cost factor. That what is work in India, and also the quality or the deliverability of the product, because that will increase the user confidence to your product. I think these are the two aspects I think startups should work. Otherwise, technically, I think we are the best in the world also when it talks about in terms of the innovation.
Right. Thanks very much, Aloe, for that input, and thanks very much for joining us in the program today and giving all those valuable insights. And before we close, final round of thoughts from our startups. Bipin, I'll begin with you. The journey from the idea to the enterprise, what kept you going? If you can share that mantra with young startups, youngsters who are watching this program.
See, one thing is I always believed that, I think because a lot of ideas come through, okay, everywhere. You go to coffee shops, but ideation without implementation is hallucination. So just thinking about an idea, you try it out, put a prototype, and that's always been my mantra. So, but always when I think something or when I put a vision to it, I try to implement it. I know the problems are there in our lives and wherever what we would do. So I always believe that you deliver on ground, even if it is a small prototype, but at least there.
Nimisha, what would you say?
I have two things that keep me going. One is I believe that execution is the key. Do whatever you want to, just do it till the finish line. And secondly is, we always believe, keep going even when the world stops, just keep going. And this is the approach that we actually followed at the time of COVID pandemic also. When the world stopped, we did not. And we started supporting our nature by giving back to the society. So these are my mantras for this.
Right, and shall we put our hands together for these two brilliant startups and the founders who joined us today? Amazing words of wisdom. So it's very important for us to also share the kind of impact that Startup Champions is making. Here's an update vis-a-vis the startups who joined us in the previous episode.
After this show aired, there has been much more positivity from our potential customers, where some of them have seen and personally emailed and got in touch and congratulated us, and I think discussions are moving forward more positively. The show on DD has covered it, that has boosted everybody's spirit, and same with respect to investors. So all our current investors were very happy and their confidence has gone up a notch. Very important take is that all the three participants who were there from Skyroot, Bellatrix and Dhruva Space, all three of us are now getting onto an MOU, and we have decided to work together. That is one important impact from the show.
After the show, we three startups came together and exploring ways to collaborate with each other, as suggested by our mentor Shri Somnath. The show has reached every nook and corner of the country. So we have received messages from many youngsters that they found it very inspiring and increased their interest in the space sector. So we from Skyroot would like to wholeheartedly thank Doordarshan and Startup India teams for this amazing initiative.
This is the first time we are interacting with the chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization. The inputs that he has provided, the support that he has extended is incredible. Our team is extremely motivated.
And with that, we conclude this edition of Startup Champions. A big thank you to the startups, Bipin and Nimisha, for joining us in the program today. Thank you to the audience member for joining us and engaging. Big hand of applause if you can put it all together for everyone. With that, we take your leave with a promise that we'll return next week with new startups, new energy, new innovations, and new reason to be inspired. We'll take your leave for now. Namaskar.